ingredients of waiting. Number one, there's something we call commitment. It takes a heart that really wants to be with the Lord to hear the Lord. A heart that really wants to be with Him before you can really wait on the Lord. Otherwise, obstacles will easily stop you or cause distractions. When you want to wait on the Lord, you need commitment. The Bible says it is the glory of God to conceal a matter and the honor of kings to search it out. And to search out something that is concealed, you need commitments. You need commitment. It's like you need the kind of commitment that you put into digging a well when you want to seek the Lord. Or the kind of commitment you need when you are mining. But since you don't know about mining, let me not use that illustration. Let me use digging a well. When you are digging a well, it's not something you can do in a day. The first day you start digging, the best you can do, even if you have more people helping you, the best you can do is you dig about 5 feet. I don't expect you to go beyond 7 feet anyhow. But you don't stop that day and abandon it. The following day, you go back there. The same spot, you begin to dig again. And dig again. By the time you are on 10 feet or so, you see some kind of water. Some kind of water. It is water, but it is not water. You see that one, you just ignore it. You keep on digging. Why are you still digging? Because you have not found what you are looking for. That's what we call commitment. Now, if after the first day you have dug 5 feet and you wake up the following day, you leave that place and go to another place, you dig another 5 feet and leave that place and go to another place, dig another 5 feet, and you are moving around like that, will you find water? Huh? Except if rain is falling and rain gather inside it for you. But the real water you are looking for, you have to be consistent on the spot you are digging and keep digging and keep digging and keep digging and keep digging. Sometimes you even get stuck with a rock. But because you are committed, you blast the rock and keep going. That's what we call commitment. You keep on doing it. Even though you are meeting obstacles, you keep on doing it. Even though you are tired, you keep on doing it. Even though it's difficult, you keep on doing it. That's commitment. You must be committed enough to keep going for you to be able to hear the voice of God. When you are waiting on God, the job is not done until He had spoken on the subject you are waiting. Sometimes God will say yes, sometimes He will say no. Either way, you have gotten an answer. Sometimes God will speak directly on what you are asking for. Sometimes He will divert you to another direction. But something definite is that God has spoken. It takes commitment to get to that. Most of the time, people are not ready to put that kind of commitment into waiting. Now, nowadays, look at Lectura over there, where I normally stay with God. People come there, and when they come, they are like, it's difficult to come here because they met some difficulties on the way. And they complain and complain. And I just smile. Because they never knew what it was when I started going there. If it is like that after about 15 years or so that we have been going there. Is it 15, 17 years? After 17 years, if it's like that now, you can imagine what it was 17 years ago. when I was driving a regular Benz, and God said, go there and go and pray. I said, yes. You know, the way when God speaks, you are excited. You say, yes, yes, Lord, yes, Lord. And I started going. I got to the first village, my vehicle jumped into the ditch, and I couldn't come out of it. I had to, the villagers there had to help me to carry the thing, and I had to give them, is it 200 naira or something? Thank you. And then I continued the journey. Another place, Buga again. At least 3 times they carry my motor that day alone. By the time I arrived in the place, I couldn't even enter. I trek. When I finally got there, I sat down. I said, Lord, let's think about this matter again. Let's think about this matter again. Why must I be coming here? He said, because that's where I want you to come. Is it that I have offended you? You want to punish me? Or what? I can't ask that question again now. Because it doesn't look like punishment again. My life has turned. Things have happened. Many favors. Many blessings. The first thing is that I don't drive small cars again. You know, all those Lilliput cars. All those dwarf cars. All those your Corolla and all of that. God promoted me beyond all of that and made me a giant in driving. You are not envious of me. It took commitment to keep going. Keep going. You will meet challenges as you are going, but you keep on going. I remember I was going to do Eagles Convention retreats in Electora sometimes, and somebody took me there because I had given out my vehicle at that time. And he took me to a portion where his vehicle could not go further. And just as we were thinking, rain just started. And it was such a very heavy rain. You know, this kind of rain that it looks like heaven and hell conspire together to deal with you. You know? No notice. There was no cloud before. The thing just started on that spot. I'm sure I said conspire because I thought God wanted me to decide to turn back. And the guy who carried me said, sir, this rain is heavy. What are we going to do now? His own vehicle couldn't go further. And we were still about 1.5 kilometers to where I was going. And I told him, turn your vehicle and let me get down. He said, sir, you're going to enter this rain? No, there are 2 options. It's either I enter the rain or I return home. And I think going home doesn't solve my problem. I want to see the Lord. I want to be with him. I need to hear his voice. So I just carry my diary, my Bible those days. You know, I used to carry his Bible those days. Unlike now that I've been electronic. Don't worry, I'm an Englishman. I can construct English. I will just make my own. Don't worry about it. So I got down, went into the rain. I was drenched. I had to cut banana, you know, all these leaves of banana to cover my head. No umbrella, nothing. Trek 1.5 kilometers to get there. By the time I got there, I was drenched. I told God, I said, this one that I'm drenched, what do we do? He said, you remove the clothes. I said, people will see me naked. He said, who are the people? They are not here. So I removed my dress and I squeezed it in, spread it out. I was in my boxer, sat down there, and mosquitoes were biting me. I said, excuse me, mosquito too. Wow. He said, now you can wear the clothes. If you wear it back now, it will dry up. Your heat, your body heat will heat it up. It will dry up. Won't I be cold? He said, don't worry about that one. We will take care of when it happens. I'm trying to talk about commitment. Sometimes commitment may mean suffering. Commitment may make you go through difficulties. But I tell you something, it's not before God alone that you need that commitment. Oh. In marriage, you need commitment. In business, you need commitment. In any good thing in life, it takes commitment to blossom. So if you want to wait on God, the first ingredient you need is called commitment. Commitment. In your academics, commitment. In your job, commitment. I stayed there for 3 days. I couldn't even take hot water to heat up myself because I was fasting anyhow. But by the time I came to town and the result was manifest, I love waiting on the Lord. So the first ingredient is commitment. The second ingredient is separation. For you to wait on the Lord, you need to separate yourself from the crowd and the noises associated with the crowd. You know the crowd can be noisy. Somebody will sleep off and begin to doze. Another one is eating and is making noise with her mouth. Chapa, chapa, chapa. Another one is talking. Another one is playing music. Another one is the crowd is noisy. It's noisy. So you need to separate yourself from the crowd. Virgin and North Atlantic anyhow, and they cancel our flights. I didn't know until I got to Gatwick. I was to enter the flight, and they canceled the flight. And they gave us a note. We are supposed to go to an hotel to stay. I said, or hotel, because I had a schedule to be with God that weekend in the mountain. I became so restless. I became a fighter in the airport, fighting with them. What do you mean? They said, we cannot fly. They will give you food. I said, are we talking about food here? I was fighting with the officials. Let me go, put me on another flight. They said, we are sorry, we don't do that. While I was fighting, the Holy Spirit said, why are you fighting? I said, but we have an appointment. I'm supposed to be with you in the mountain. The Lord said, I'm also the God of the valley. Your God is the God of the mountains. He's also the God of the valley. If you cannot reach Ile Itura to pray, the Itura that is in Ile, he's here. I'm the one that makes Ile Itura. So you can meet me here. They have given you a fine hotel room. Go there and settle down. Do your retreat there. When I got to the hotel, the place was very fine. Very fine. I just locked myself in. Did my retreat there. The only thing I didn't enjoy in their hospitality was the food they were serving. I didn't go for food. I didn't need food. I just locked myself there. After about 5 days that I've been doing my retreat in the room, they sent a message, our flight tomorrow morning. Just as I finished my retreat, our flight tomorrow morning, and then we came home. So sometimes you may not even have a mountain. That's what I'm saying. What you need is to separate yourself from the people, from the crowd, from your normal activities. Number 3, quietness. Quietness is different from separation. You can be separated and still be noisy. Because sometimes the noise is what you are creating by yourself. You must be committed to quietness when you want to hear the voice of God. Because our strength is in quietness. Remember when Elijah met with God? There was a wind There was a noise, but God only manifested in quietness. So it may be necessary for you to learn to knock out every noise as much as possible when you are waiting on the Lord. Unfortunately, many of our prayer mountains of our generation no longer serve this purpose because they have become very rowdy and noisy. Probably even more noisy than the church. So, you need quietness. Quietness when you want to seek the Lord. Now that's a challenge I'm dealing with in Lectura now. God told me Lectura is my home. It's the place where he wants to be meeting with me. As soon as I got to that place, he told me, don't be like somebody and Alexander the Way. Let me not mention the somebody. He said, don't be like this person and Alexander the Way. And it took me some 2 weeks before I understood that. Did some researches about the Way. Did a little bit of researches on the other person that he mentioned. And then I said, Lord, let me understand. What are you trying to say? He said, Lectura is your home. Don't build a city, another city there, where everybody will be coming and making noise. I want quietness there. That's why you won't find it easy if you tell me you want to come and meet me in Lectura. I don't want you to come. Because God doesn't want me to bring people there. He wants me to bring people and let them go. Not that you come and leave. Not that you come when you like. No. There's a time for everything. He gave me another place called Ileano, where we should develop into a mountain. And people can come to pray anytime, any day. Unfortunately, we have not built that properly. But we are beginning to do it. We already have non-residential prayer cubicles there. For those of you who haven't been there, we have places where people can pray, but they can't sleep there yet. We are in the process of building a hall this size there. We are clearing the ground now. By next week, they're going to begin to dig the foundations. And I'm trusting God by July, we should be roofing the thing. I'm trusting God. I'm still trusting God. Don't think I've changed my trust. I'm still trusting. By July, I trust God that we will have done the roof. So, after that, we'll build residential prayer grottos where people can come from distances and stay. People like you too, you want to sleep overnight, 2-3 days there. I want to be able to do that. I don't know how it will happen yet, but that's what we have on mind. In 1 or 2 years, we will have done something. The Lord will help us in Jesus' name. What I was trying to say is, you need quietness when you are waiting on God. Number 4, stillness. 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 Now, this is a word that we have coined in the body of Christ to describe quietness of the mind. You know, the other quietness we're talking about is noise around you. But this one is in your mind. Sometimes your mind is very troubled, very disturbed about a subject. It might be the subject you are waiting on the Lord for. It might be another subject that it becomes so difficult for you to even hear the voice of God. But when you are waiting on God, you need to be able to quieten your mind. How do you do this? Some people have suggested that you can blank your mind. Just blank your mind and stop thinking. But I don't subscribe to that, Because blanking the mind is more into witchcraft. So I don't advise you to blank your mind. Rather, I recommend that you focus your mind upon the Lord. Let your mind think about the Lord. Actually, the Bible said we should seek him with the whole of our mind. So what I'm asking you to do is picture him upon his throne in your mind. Learn to focus your mind on him when you wait on him. It's not right to be waiting on the Lord and your mind is in Kaduna. Your mind is somewhere else. You won't hear his voice. But settle your mind upon him and you'll be able to hear him better. Number 5, fasting. Fasting. Now, probably the most effective weapon to silence the human flesh is fasting. Because much of food will normally make you heavy and sleepy. When you eat so much food, it's a very good knockout. You just sleep off. Because you are tired. Your body is digesting food. So you feel heavy. And you would not be able to engage in much spiritual activities at that time. So it's good to avoid food when you are waiting on the Lord. Even biologically, it's good because you are not going to do so much of activities at that time. So fasting is good when you are waiting on the Lord. That's number 5. And then number 6. Okay, number 5, let me say also, when you fast, in the spiritual realm, you are respected. You are respected. It shows that you are very committed to what you are, to the Lord. When you fast, to what you are demanding for. So, in the spiritual realm, you are respected. You know what I mean? Respected. Angels will respect you. Demons will respect you. They won't misbehave to you. And then number 6, good personal worship. Good personal worship. This is like a lubricant. It's like a spiritual primer to engage the presence of God. It makes it easy to engage the presence of God when you are worshiping him. Many times when it looks like the Lord, I'm not gaining access to him, I just go into worship. There was a day I was in the presence of God and I was pressed heavily. I needed to ease myself. And the Lord was talking to me. And I was pressed. So I was struggling with it. The Lord said, go and ease yourself. I'll wait for you. I said, you wait? He said, yes, wait for me. So I went to the toilet, eased myself, and came back. And I didn't see the Lord again. I couldn't find him. I tried to access. I couldn't access. I said, but you say you're waiting for me. I didn't see him again. And then the Spirit said, worship now. Worship now. And I just began to worship him. Just began to worship. All of a sudden, I saw him again. Gain access to him again. Maybe what I'm saying is funny to you. Maybe it doesn't make meaning to you. You will know when the time comes. You remember. Worship gives you access to him. Every time. The only problem with worship is there are some songs that are not his song. There are some songs that are not his own. Somebody had been worshiping the devil before. And he had a song he used to sing for the devil. And now that he is born again, he transferred that song to God. That's not God's song. It may be sweet. God doesn't own it. There was a day I sang one like that before God. The Lord said, come on, take it away from here. I said, why? He said, it's not my own. Don't bring it to me. I don't steal people's glory. So I discarded that. Another day I was singing one song. And the Lord said, keep quiet. Take it away from here. I said, why, Lord? He said, she's an adulteress. She was mine. I gave her glory. I gave her grace. And then she went into adultery. Each time you sing that song, I remember what she did to me. Take it away from here. So one day I said, that one is not your own. This one is adulterer. That one was singing for money. Which song will I now sing for you? He said, sing your own. Your own. Your own. I said, I'm not a singer. He said, you don't need to be a singer. I said, you will not be sweet. He said, I don't need sweet. I don't need sweet. Sing to me from your heart, your spirit. So I began to sing my own song. You won't know them until you put recorder in my prayer room. Don't worry. And the day you record them, you will be wondering, is this man crazy? Because they are not sweet. They don't have to be sweet to worship God. They don't have to be sweet to worship God. So good personal worship is number 6 that will help you to access God. I want more of you. I want more of you. Jesus, the more I know you, the more I want to know you. Jesus, more of you. Just sing that chorus once more. I want more of you. I want more of you. Jesus, the more I know you, the more I want to know you. Jesus, more